I need to address something here. I know a lot of you are sick of me complaining about stuff on social media, and I do promise to tone it down. I've moved a lot of my ranty type stuff over to my Wisconsin Beard Twitter channel, which is just my personal one. I know a lot of you come to YouTube to be entertained. In fact, most people do. But there are times when topics are so important, they need to be discussed. Censorship and shame culture has been on full display in the Magic the Gathering community, and it's one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a long time. We are supposed to be community. In a lot of ways, we're a community of outcasts, people feeling on the outside looking in because of the things we enjoy in life. Board games, card games, role-playing. Many of us outcast by the mainstream of our middle schools or high schools, now growing up and seeing a cultural shift in the community that is simply sickening. We bond over this game we love. When I was young, the community was strong because of the us versus them mentality that we all had. They may not like us for whatever reason, but we all had each other's backs when we sit down at the table to play Magic. Now it seems that Wizards of the Coast, the big news sites, and MTG personalities seem more interested in policing thought amongst its own players than bringing us together. Inside the world of Magic, it's one of freedom and wonder. Choose whichever path you like, play the game any way you wish, but outside of the game itself, culturally, it's very different. It can feel stifling if you don't think a certain way. This ends up with Wizards of the Coast and those they allow to represent the game pushing a very narrow narrative of social justice. Wizards is picking and choosing talent they wish to promote based on their views of society, not their skill level or community reach. Nearly every single personality is outspoken about their progressive, air quotes, political beliefs. Being outspoken isn't a bad thing. A problem starts to arise when they're all outspoken in the same way. It becomes an unhealthy echo chamber. There isn't a single libertarian, conservative-minded, or outspoken advocate of free speech on any panel I've ever seen, though tons of folks that play the game actually are. If you think a person who is considered a conservative or libertarian is unfit to speak about Magic the Gathering, then I'm sorry, but you're part of the intolerance I'm talking about. Promote a set of progressive values, Wizards loves you. Speak out against groupthink, especially in regards to race and gender, then you're an outcast. I'm not objecting to people having certain political opinions in the game. That's normal. What I'm objecting to is the only having certain opinions, or only having certain opinions be allowed. The MTG community is as varied as the wider world. All kinds of viewpoints and opinions should be represented. Wizards and many of the websites and personalities that have a close relationship with them like to talk about diversity in terms of race, gender, or sexuality, while simultaneously stifling the diversity of opinion. Dissent is healthy in any community. So is a range of differing opinions. What's the point in having a community that's diverse on the surface but underneath made up of people who all act, talk, and think the same way? This video isn't even about the direct experiences I have had because that would cheapen the message. I know at times I can be a bit of a shitlord online. I am blocked by every MTG personality on Twitter and banned from the Magic the Gathering official Twitch chat. Why? For words. A silly meme? For having differing opinions? Why do I have to get my MTGO news from Tumblr? That seems unprofessional. Why is nearly everyone Wizards promotes from a very similar ideological background? Why is it always the same people on the community team? Why do the same people always get exclusive preview cards over and over? Why are some of the opinions able to be expressed by Wizards partners but not opposing viewpoints? Why do many of these hand-picked Wizards partners attack, shame, and attempt to shun elements of the community they disagree with? The people making corporate decisions are letting their own personal views and bias dictate what the company does, and this is a huge mistake. Every time you ban somebody for simply saying Harambe in chat, you leave someone feeling bad. It feels bad to get banned. You're not just controlling chat, you are trying to control people, and that person is likely to quit the game. I can tell you from personal experience, it felt awful being banned from the Wizards of the Coast Twitch chat. And had I not had the following I do, I can guarantee I would never have been allowed back in. Now, I just don't watch their live streams because of this, and I wonder how many others feel the exact same way. Wizards' excuse was that, quote, Harambe isn't the type of meme we want in our chat. Implying a harmless pop culture reference is somehow dangerous. It seems silly because it is. We shouldn't be at a point where fans are insta-banned for mentioning a gorilla-based internet meme. On a basic level, it's just bad community management. I've seen people using the Wizards account shouting that people will be banned in Twitch over the most minor of posts, saying to keep their mouth shut. While I realize things as small as Twitter feeds and Twitch chats feel unimportant, it's part of a larger issue. Wizards of the Coast apparently has so much money that they want to pick and choose who they embrace playing their game, and especially who can or can't make content or criticism about it. They're happy to take everyone's money, but if you're a YouTuber and streamer like myself, a smaller MTG website, or a player hoping to make it on the Pro Tour, these things affect you. These things almost never get better, and as the echo chamber tightens in the Magic the Gathering community, I can promise you this. I will continue to fight against it. Wizards seems to want to champion and feature people who adhere to a very close-minded set of views on the world. Some of these individuals are toxic and feel the need to attack and belittle or attempt to silence others they disagree with. Part of being an adult is being able to get along with people you disagree with. If I went to an event, would the people who blocked me on social media refuse to shake my hand because of my opinions? Probably. I'm very willing to talk to guys like Wedge from the Mana Sorts, or Brian the Professor from Tolarian Community College, or the ladies from Magic the Amateuring podcast. But by subscribing to block bots or manually blocking me and many other Magic the Gathering fans on social media, they've made it clear they wouldn't be willing to talk to. We don't want MTG to become as divided and bitter as mainstream politics is in the United States. But if we're unable to talk about our differences like adults and still shake hands across the table, that's where I see it going. As a community, it's vital we avoid divisive identity politics at all costs. It's very difficult for new people to get noticed without the help of a larger channel or established personality. By mass blocking on social media or disregarding people due to slight differences in opinion, you remove that chance to see anything worthwhile in what they have to say. If the people chosen to represent the Magic the Gathering community only want to listen to people they 100% agree with, then those are the kinds of people we're going to keep seeing. It becomes self-sustaining. It removes rungs on the ladder for anyone with an alternate point of view and could very well snuff out unique voices who want to contribute to the community. These established personalities often have deep links with card sellers, trading services, and Wizards themselves. What we are seeing is the formation of a clique, a small group protecting their own interests and ideas to the detriment of outsiders. Magic the Gathering is a multi-billion-dollar industry with millions of players all over the globe, yet we see the same handful of people given inside access and priority coverage. Magic coverage feels out of step with how big the game has become. It shouldn't be a closed group where everyone knows everyone else and agrees with each other. Don't worry though, I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to be one of the anointed ones in the community to survive here. I have all of you. I have my patrons who support me. I have my channel sponsors. There are also others with platforms both big and small willing to speak out on the issue. I'm so very lucky to have all of your support, and because of that freedom, you know what comes out of my mouth is the truth. This is far bigger than the problems I've experienced personally. It extends beyond social media baloney or Twitch chats. I didn't speak out at the time, but the banning of Zach Jesse from competitive play with Wizards, even so far as to ban his MTGO account, was disturbing to me. Jesse had been a rising star in the MTG scene until he was publicly attacked by another Magic player on social media. His ban came not as a result of any misconduct whilst at an event, but simply because a potential competitor decided to cause a controversy surrounding his past convictions. This is especially troubling when others who play the game at a competitive level have had felony convictions, but no action has ever been taken against them. Wizards seemed to make up the rules as they went along in this case. It was backlash and hysteria that made them act. Another instance was, and quite frankly embarrassing, the controversy over the art for the card Triumph of Ferocity, a card that was hysterically referred to as a rape scene by people looking to be offended. In this case, Wizards actually apologized, appeasing but also emboldening those who purposefully seek outrage. This represents a paternalistic attitude towards women when it comes to sheltering female characters from conflict, and hurts rather than helps Liliana as a character. We've seen big sources of coverage like Star City Games censor articles due to them not fitting the narrative that Magic the Gathering is an unwelcoming place to women, or that they require special treatment in the game. Once again, we see the outrage mob championing their point of view at the expense of others. The wholesale deletion of an entire article and its replacement with an apology is an act of extraordinary editorial cowardice. Star City Games should not allow contributors' opinions to be shouted down by a pitchfork-wielding internet mob. Channel Fireball has written patronizing articles under the guise of getting more women into Magic that merely perpetuate the stereotype that Magic players are unsociable cavemen who've never interacted with a woman before. Both Channel Fireball and Star City Games have a very close relationship with Wizards. Too close, in my opinion. And this can be seen as virtual extensions of Wizards' PR. We've come to accept these close relationships just as we've come to accept most MTG editorial and analysis will push a certain point of view. All of this erodes a healthy discourse as a community. Many of these instances, from apologizing for an innocuous act, to banning players based on outcry rather than fairness, to major MTG sites removing articles that counter the prevailing narrative, are done to smooth over corporate relations and sell more cards. Wizards and the big card sellers simply want to take the easiest route when it comes to controversy, and that often involves appeasing a vocal minority at the expense of the wider community. It's a convenient point that a lot of Wizards' chosen ones also like to hype new product releases or seem reluctant to criticize Wizards in any way. Those at a decision-making level also like to see their personal ideologies be pushed more forward. This attitude trickles down into the community and makes players unsure if they'll be next in line for abuse or shaming, or if Magic personalities they look up to will ostracize them for their beliefs. My biggest problem with what's going on is it's affecting people's normal experience of play. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what your beliefs are. We're here to play a game. And through the game, we might learn to better accept each other's differing beliefs. When you spend your hard-earned money on Magic the Gathering, hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars in my case, it feels like a slap in the face when someone who Wizards picks out to represent the game uses the platform to attack anyone who disagrees with them. If Wizards and Hasbro are concerned about their brand, maybe they shouldn't enable and reward that kind of behavior. Wizards needs to realize that there isn't one single Magic community it can control. It's made up of our playgroups, our local stores, and our friends. By pushing people out to the fringes, Wizards and those who've chosen to represent them only hurt themselves and shrink the audience for their game. With the financial burden, recent botched product launches, and the abysmal experience of MTGO's long-suffering Magic players don't need another reason to leave the game. I think the Magic community is great. I've already said you guys are awesome. I disagree with those who want to tear it down as sexist or racist or attack people on political or ideological grounds. But if we don't speak out in defense of free expression, some of the openness and cooperation MTG fans are known for could disappear. And that would be a real shame because I love this game and I love all of you. There are links in the description to everything I've talked about in this video, and if you want to read more about these issues in a companion piece, the guy that helped me out with this, John Sweeney or Scrump Monkey over at Super Nerdland, I will provide a link in the description if you want to read even more about this. I really hope that you guys think about some of these issues, and I hope it doesn't bring you down too much, but I look forward to talking to you again real soon. What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.